Okay, I have a little bit before I go to dinner, so I'm going to show you guys how I get my perfect heatless hair curls. These have been going all day, so they fall a little bit, but like this is what I get. I'm obsessed with this look. If you have really fine or thin hair, I would recommend the OG heatless hair curler. This is the XL one. I have a whole routine and all my products are linked to my LTK. You always want to start out with very like brushed out hair, and then you're going to take your curler and you're just going to pin it to the top of your head. If I'm doing this at night, I'm always putting in my scalp serum. I use the Divi scalp serum. It's going to help a lot with hair growth. It's going to help a lot if you get buildup on your scalp. It's amazing. And then also on day like 3 to 6 hair, I will put some type of like hair oil in the bottom of my hair, or I'll do some of my like leave-in hair treatments, just kind of like rejuge the hair. Like I said, everything's in my LTK. So starting on the one side, what the key is here is everything's gonna be super brushed out. It's gonna be super flat, super smooth, and you want to make sure it's very unison as well. So I'm taking about like an inch of hair and I'm wrapping that all the way around the curling rod. And this happens whether I'm using the XL one or the OG. Then I'm going back and I'm going to take another inch of hair, and in between I like to make sure that this is all like brushed out. It's all very even, taking those together. And now I'm wrapping that back around. So all you're doing is you're taking another inch of hair and you're gonna add that to the section that you already wrapped, but making sure that this is super like smoothed out. There's no tangles, everything's together. These two become one, these two wrap around. What are you gonna do? Grab another inch of hair here, and you're gonna keep repeating this process. You could do the same thing all the way down. I like to change it up, but I'm keep doing that. And what I'm doing is I'm going until there's equal amounts of hair like down here, what has not been wrapped, versus here, what has been wrapped. But you can see all of this is very tight up here, but it's also flat. There's no like crazy like tangles or like weird loose hairs. So now that this section down here is the same amount of hair as what I have right here, I'm gonna hold this hand now, and I'm taking this hand and I have all of this hair that hasn't been wrapped yet. I'm gonna grab it and I'm gonna wrap it around the rod going the opposite direction. So you guys see how all of these hairs, I would pick it up and I'd go and wrap it this way. What I'm doing with this one is I'm wrapping it in the opposite direction over top of the rod and around. These are still both separate. I'm no longer adding or combining any type of hair. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep crossing these over. I'm not combining them, I'm only wrapping them around each other, but I'm still keeping that very tight and close together. This might take you a couple times to get used to it. I promise you it's really easy though. All I'm doing is I'm just wrapping them like over top of each other. I just switch hands because it makes the most sense for my fingers, but you don't have to do it that way. Then once you get to the bottom, you just take your tie and you're tied up, but you do want to make sure that your hair is as close and tight as possible. You'd rather your curls be tighter and then just fall on their own versus being very loose and then they'll fall in 2 seconds. But this is seriously it. I do it on the other side. And then what I do when I sleep is I just kind of like tuck these like this, and I always sleep with a satin hair bonnet. If you find that your curls fall out in the middle of the night, or you have like stray hairs going every which way, sleep in a satin hair bonnet. That'll also help with your shine. It'll help with your frizz. It'll help with your softness. And then obviously don't sleep with the clip on the top of our hair. But for reference, this is what it'll look like. It'll change your life.